Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Maryann.
Hi, William.
Okay. Hi. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our webinar tonight. So I have with me Maryann from Studio Loft today. Yeah, and Maryann and myself will be sharing with you guys on the art of kids and baby photography, and of course family photos in general. And Maryann run a very successful studio, the Studio Loft, and she has been doing family photos and baby and kids photography for the longest time. So maybe
Yeah.
Maryann, you can share with us uh, some info about yourself, your studio, then yeah, just to let them know more about you.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, William, for the intro. Yeah, about more than 15 years ago, back in May 2006, I started the Studio Loft. Not knowing any I have no business background whatsoever, but just decided to take the plunge lah. Back then, my eldest son was about 6, 7 months. Yeah. Then it all started when I was pregnant and I was trying to find a female photographer, so to speak, because I wanted to get those semi-nude kind of shots for my pregnant
Oh,
belly.
nice. Okay.
Then very, very embarrassing, right? If you ask a guy photographer. So back then it wasn't very popular. I mean,
Yep.
most photographers were male. And then
Yep.
I didn't feel so comfortable with that because I was quite bloated lah, baby whale. So I bought my first DSLR then, and then I took some pictures of myself lah, my pregnant belly, and then I sent to some friends, and then they were like, "Eh, nice leh, artistic leh." Say why don't you do this as a niche lah for photography? Then I thought, why not lah? So with the coming of the baby, then naturally became newborn photography and finally families lah. So that's how I got started. And
Okay.
then yeah,
Nice. So, uh, okay, so I guess all these years, well, I guess there are a lot of people who want to try out baby photos, kids
yeah,
photography, or there, people would like to find out like from photographers, how what are the challenges we faced when doing kids photos or even baby photos? I mean,
yeah,
for somebody like me, for example, I'm not a father,
yeah.
so sometimes when handling babies, there will always be challenges. So what are some of the challenges that you face back then when you're a new mom, and maybe 15 years later, do you still have the kind of challenges and things like that? Yeah.
Okay. So I guess when you say challenges, right? The biggest challenge is the parents, not the kids themselves. But then over the years we've learned to manage them. Because as new parents, right, most of us are very kanchiong about the baby, and then some will like bring the in-law or the parents over. So all the our older generation, they tend to be not so open to such kind of photography, like baby so young, what for you bring, right? And then the some will bring the confinement nanny, that one even worse. Some of them are like they will scold you like, hey, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But over the years, yeah, really. So over the years, we've learned to manage expectations from parents, and then we also preempt them on what to expect for the shoot. So this kind of put everything clearly lah from the get go, rather than they come and then they get a shock. My baby must be naked. This that. So everything we already preempt them, and then if they decide they are not comfortable with that, we will actually do a full clothes. I mean, we wrap up the baby lah instead of a nude
Okay.
shot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So also there are some parents who are not comfortable with new shots for their babies, lah.
yeah, indeed.
Okay.
Actually, when we first started, the trend, right, that back then was naked and then
Mm,
black and white, that kind
mm,
of mood shot lah, which is actually now currently what I'm going back lah towards,
okay.
because after that over the years the trend is like more prop based. So like they will put the baby in a basket and then that kind of thing lah, a lot of flowers, even
Okay.
for boy babies. Yeah.
So
So,
every year there's basically certain trends in baby photographies, I guess.
correct.
Yeah.
So for baby photography lah, newborn lah, then there was also a time when they have outdoor, really outdoor, bring the
Yeah.
baby outdoor. That one is the worst for Asian parents. They really
Because
object to
under
it.
the sun got insects and whatever.
Yeah. But then it looks really nice in the photos, and then some parents still go for that lah. But over the years, it has now gone back to studio type shots.
Okay,
But
okay,
for majority of our shoot, we use natural light for newborns.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
maybe
then
maybe you can share with us some pictures that you have shot,
can
some baby photos, because I'm sure
yeah.
some of the viewers would love to see some pictures instead of listening to us talk too
Yes,
much.
yes. Okay, so maybe I'll share with you.
Okay, anyway, for viewers
Our,
there who are watching us, right, feel free to ask any questions that you have as a budding photographer or as a customer. Feel free to leave a comment on the Facebook page. Yeah, ask any questions that you might have, and we'll try our best to actually reply you. Yep.
okay, so this one I will share. The Okay, so this baby, the poster of that baby. This is the same baby. I will just.
Okay. Maryann, you have not added.
I-
Have, yeah, okay, I saw it now. Okay, can. Yep.
Okay, and so this is babe. This is okay. One of my first employees, right? Can you see the
Yep.
photo?
Can already.
Can yeah.
Everything is
So this one was one of my very first employee. She joined me straight from school after poly.
wow.
Charlene,
Okay.
her name. So actually, maybe you know her, Charlene. So after that, she left us after about 2 years, and this is her baby. So I feel like I'm like a proud grandparent,
Oh, oh,
a
okay, nice.
studio loft grandparent to this baby girl. Yeah. So
Okay.
this baby Alexa, I can show you.
So do you okay, maybe some questions people might have is do you provide the attire for the baby, or do the parents provide, or yeah.
Yes. So we do everything that you see on baby. We provide the backdrop, the outfit, and the
Oh,
props.
okay. Okay.
Let me see if I can show you more. Okay, and this one is another setup. So what you see just now, that photo is this photo is actually a setup that we do in our studio. So it's actually all what you call that in our studio. It's not outdoor or anything, or it's not at the client's home lah.
No.
Then how do I share this one? So sorry. I share another screen. Okay. So this is another set. So usually in a typical newborn shoot is about 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
We will actually do about 5 to 6 sets, including family shots for the family.
Wow, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
well,
yeah,
that's quite long.
new
Okay.
newborn shoot is usually a lot of feeding, and
Yeah.
then making sure baby is safe, sleepy, and then getting the set up. So I
Okay.
think most importantly is the baby has to look comfortable in the photo.
So do you
Not
actually so I guess you are very well trained in wrapping up the babies and things like that.
Yes. So actually, a lot of all the photos you see here,
Uh-huh.
we actually wrap them up. They are
Uh-huh.
actually very comfortable because the wraps are all very stretchy and soft, and it
Ah,
doesn't
okay.
affect their yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is baby Alexa.
Nice.
Okay, so we also do this what we call beanbag shots. So
Uh,
previously those you see set up are what we call prop shots.
yeah.
Then there's also this beanbag shots. Beanbag shots is where we focus more on just baby alone, very little what you call that props or items used. So like this shot, for example, please don't assume that the baby held her face up like that. It's actually a composite. So we're actually holding the top of baby's head for one shot, and then the next shot we are holding the hands below. Then we do a composite to get this photo.
Yeah, I understand a
Even
lot of
though it's yeah, correct. So
you-
even though it's not a natural thing that a baby will do, but as long as you see in the photo that the baby looks comfortable, it's not in it
yeah.
doesn't look posed or uncomfortable, then I think it still works. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Like in all my years of photography, right? Um, there are some people who actually thought that everything was posed as it is, but
Ah,
actually a lot of it is composite or Photoshop or stuff like that, lah. Yeah.
correct. But
So
actually, so we
keep
try
keep
and get
safe.
some, yeah. So we try and get some funny shots for the parents as well, lah. I mean, not
Uh,
everything has to be perfect, right? But then,
agree,
yeah,
agree.
as long, yeah. So as long as baby is happy, yeah, that's all that matters, lah. So this one is just for fun, lah, because baby started crying just as daddy held her, so we just took the shot.
Okay, now that you mentioned crying, right?
Yeah.
There's a question on Facebook by Stanley. He's
Okay.
asking, what if the baby kept crying? Then what do you do? Like
Okay.
non-stop. So are you a baby whisperer?
Okay. So okay. Last time, right, when we first started, we didn't have a lot of experience doing handling babies lah, because all the babies I handle are my own son only, right?
Yeah.
So when we first started, it was a lot of time spent trying to get a baby to sleep, and then some parents they are very how say, they only will feed every 3 hours. They are
Oh, yeah.
very strict. Yeah. So when it haven't reached 3 hours, but we need baby to be well fed and warm, they say no, not time yet. So so a lot of time we have to wait and wait and wait. So but now we learn to value our time and the parents' time. So we actually tell them you need a very well fed baby in order for us to do our work. So most of them will actually comply lah, because sometimes really some parents are really very strict. Like they say 3 hours means 3 hours, cannot feed earlier, 10 minutes earlier also cannot. So that's how we found out. And also nowadays we have so much experience, right? Hundreds of baby shot. We can handle babies well now. We understand that their hands and their legs especially cannot be very loose.
Yeah.
How to say? Yeah, so we actually start off shoots in a sequence. So we start off with all the wrap shots first, and then
Okay.
slowly as the shoot goes on and baby gets sleepier, we slowly do unwrap them from the wraps, and we get the more like the half naked shots.
Yeah.
But as of now, we have stopped taking out diapers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
last time we have the entire butt naked baby shots, but now seldom parents ask for it. Yeah.
Okay. I see. I see.
So
But
then to answer Stanley, he said why baby kept crying, right?
yeah.
So when baby cry, there's mainly two reasons. Either they are hungry or they are cold. Cold meaning uncomfortable, or they don't like
Or
the
they
cold.
pull already.
Yeah. Yeah. So like if they're uncomfortable, so you just need to fix this why they are crying. So either they're uncomfortable or they're hungry, and then you'll be fine. Some are colic babies, so you need to also assess their condition.
Okay. Okay. Nice. And uh okay, I just remembered something like just now you say when the baby after you do the wrap shots where they are more or less okay, then you unwrap them and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Then have you ever encountered when parents, right, they tell you, oh, um, uh, you know, the newborn shots, they're always sleeping. But
Right.
have you experienced when parents say, I don't want the photos of my baby to keep on sleeping, you know, they want it to be like awake, open the eyes and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, have you experienced questions like this from parents?
Yes. So usually, okay, maybe I show you an example here. Um, okay. So to share this, so usually when babies are awake, right? They are not babies. I mean newborn. When they are awake, the main thing is they will cry or they are looking for something. So if
Yep,
you actually have a calm and awake baby, right, it's quite rare lah. For example, this one. Can you see?
yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yep.
So you see, he is actually on the verge of crying, but because he's wrapped up, so
Uh-huh.
he's warm and happy. So so he gave me a bit of a open eye shot for a few minutes,
Okay.
and that's before his brother come in and kacau. I show you the brothers. Yeah,
Nice.
so after they came in, after a while, then we did some family shots. This one is actually shot at the client's home lah.
Okay. Okay.
So when we are in the client's home, there's actually quite a lot of restriction. Firstly, we need to see where the light is coming from because we're using natural light.
Yep.
So like this one is actually their family bed against a wall. That's all.
Nice. I like
Yeah,
the nice black and white feel.
yeah. And this one is the bay window. And this one is all we brought our props to set up for them lah. Because even though like this one I quite like because it's actually a top down angle from the curtains, the day curtains. So
Yep.
what you see, yeah. So usually for newborn shoots, we try and give clients a variety of poses. So besides the prop based shot, we also have simple shots like this of the body parts. So mainly
Yep.
they like to show the lips, the eyes, the ears. Okay, this one is an example of before editing, right? So you see, you
Yep.
can still see a bit of the diaper and then the black cloth that we use. And
Yep.
then after that, we remove it. And the final shot is like that. Lah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So this one they look comfortable because it's a pose like they are in the womb. It's not really a forced pose like the previous one I show you where they're on their chin, that kind of shot. So this one is quite a easy pose to achieve if baby is sleepy lah. Then
Okay.
this one is by the same bay window. You see the the brothers joining in. Yeah, and then the family.
Nice.
Yeah. So things like that lah. So we usually a shoot we'll do a variety lah. So like mommy and baby, daddy and
Yep.
baby alone, and then family lah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool. Yeah. So yeah. So basically okay, Marianne does a lot of uh props as well for all your baby shoots lah. I guess for my style is probably a bit different. So
mm,
I guess I don't really do a lot of props, or I hardly
yeah.
do props lah. And most of the time for newborn, I usually do it at the customer's house.
Mm,
So I guess for me is a lot of times customers when they ask me to do baby shoot and stuff like that, then I say well, if they are okay, maybe we can always do it at the house lah, because um, maybe to the baby is more comfortable, is
yeah. It's true. It's
familiarity.
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then of course parents will always say, "Oh, yeah, you know my house is very messy, etc.
Yeah.
etc. How to shoot." I guess what we always tell customers is that's why we are photographers lah. We make the best out from it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes you just need a small part of the house, just
yeah,
clear
lor.
out a bit. Yeah, lor. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so maybe I also share some of the photos that I have. Um, okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah,
How
so
do
all
you
these
keep babies calm? a question.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this is actually shot in the house also,
at the window, right?
like in the window. So I'm
Yeah, nice.
sure, to the viewers out there, regardless of how messy the house is, there's always a window, and
Yes.
there's a small part of the wall where we can actually shoot. So of
Yes.
course, sometimes we do a bit of post editing to get rid of the distractions. But I
Mm.
think that's good enough. So yeah, but basically I do less prop shots lah. A lot of times it's really short as it is, and I always encourage parents to also how should I say, don't worry too much about all these things like
Mess.
sometimes parents worry too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we always say, yeah, keep chill, and sometimes is actually good enough. So like even for this one, this was also at the house window shot. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's always a lot of ways that we can shoot. Yeah, and to
This
me,
style, right? This style of yours, right, is what I like to do at hospital shoots.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So do you
So
actually do a lot of hospital shoots?
yeah. So over the years, right, I've now my girls are more into the prop shots kind of photos. But whereas for me, I'm going back to basics that like you. So I actually quite like those documentary style shoot that you do at the hospital when
Yeah,
the first day baby is born.
yeah.
So we started a package called Hello Baby. It's actually a low key shot. That means we bring, so usually I bring my Fuji lah because it's small and handy. Then I'll bring it to the hospital, and then it will be the first time that the elder child meets the baby sibling. So I like to
Okay,
capture that moment. Yeah, and it's also sometimes when they don't have an elder child, it's their first child, right? Then I'll capture their first few hours as new parents. So maybe
okay.
I can show you some example. Uh, so what you show me just now, I have a similar shot. Is called, okay, this one. How do I share this? Share screen. Okay, so this one I shot at the hospital. Is
Nice.
on the, yeah, the day they born. So hospital, the lighting is quite terrible for some of the older hospitals. So we usually like to do black and white for hospital shoot, and we try and use the window lah. So like this one, we capture the expression of the baby.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just some private moment of them as new
Yeah,
parents. Yeah.
yeah,
But you can also achieve quite nice like studio light photo. I mean, if you have a wall there, actually this one the wall is very tight. It's really a very very small corner that we use.
yeah. I
Yeah.
guess uh, that's why I guess we always try our best to make the best use of the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, so what you see, so just now that one was more of a silhouette type backlighted shot. Then we also, because some parents may find it too dark, right? So we also do some um, side lighting lah from the window. Then we're back to silhouette again lah, something like that. Yeah. So
okay.
yeah, so I quite like to do such shots for hospital, and then
So do you get a lot of requests from
yeah, but
customers?
because of this pandemic, right? So now they are limited to only the spouse can visit.
Okay.
But today with the announcement, I'm not too sure lah. Maybe we are allowed
Uh,
to.
but okay, pre-COVID days, do you get a lot more requests of such things?
Only usually we find is second time parents.
I see.
Yeah, because they really like the idea that we share that the first time Koko or Che meet the little one, right?
Uh-huh.
Really very cute one, the expression. Then sometimes they, this one is from mommy tummy. So it's
Okay.
quite cute, lah. Yeah. So I do have some another one of, let me show you. Should be this one. Okay, so how do I share this again? Okay, this one. So mommy was waiting for her,
Ah, that's
and then
nice.
then daddy brought her in. So we actually tell the mommy, right, that we will come about half an hour before your child comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And then then she was a bit apprehensive at first looking at the baby. And then after that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
something like that lah. So I find joy in shooting such shots nowadays rather than studio. But of course, I still shoot studio. Just that now I find this kind of shoots more meaningful for my
Playful.
yeah
I guess for customers and for photographers, we will have a different view of
yes
how the
so
photos will be like. I guess a lot of
correct
photographers out there, uh, we always like a bit more documentary style.
yeah it's true
Regardless whether it's family photos, baby photos, or even wedding photos, which I do a lot also. But of course, customers might have a different view. They might want something that is more in your face kind of thing.
yeah
I guess as photographers, we always try a balance lah, and of course explain
mm,
to customers the pros and cons, or rather the differences between the two types of photography. And
correct
in the end, it really depends on what they want for themselves.
yeah.
Yeah, because
So what you say is very true lah. Like when we shoot families in a studio, they want like all seated, all smiling, looking at camera. But we also try and throw in some candid moments. Like we ask the parents to tickle the children, and then you
yeah,
get all the laughters, or they can look at each other and make silly faces. So, I mean, with the grandparents, maybe they may not like this kind of shot, but for the younger parents, they really appreciate. I mean, of course, we do some proper sit down shots. Then after that, then we try. So what I can say to photographers is that you shoot for the client, but you save 10% to shoot for what you like also.
yeah,
So that way,
definitely.
yeah. So that
And
way you
I
will,
guess we always tell customers we want to capture a part of your story,
yeah,
and it might be a bit more interesting if it's less posy sometimes,
mm,
but of course, we always try to explore different things. Yeah,
yeah,
like you mentioned, we maybe have about 10% to actually shoot for ourselves,
yeah,
and
correct. If they don't
uh,
like, they don't buy, law. It's
yeah,
no
depends
problem.
on what they
Yeah,
want eventually.
correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. In fact, yeah, I definitely agree. With what you meant by the sibling being attached to first time or not the first time looking at the baby, what
Yeah,
is the reaction like? Like even for myself, I also like to shoot images like this. When
yeah,
the whole
cute.
family is together,
Yeah,
and this is also shot in the house, and
yes.
not a window, that's a normal wall, and we can
Mm,
still get the images out. Yeah,
nice.
and it's very heartwarming, when
Yeah,
the whole family is together, with the baby, with the older sibling. Yeah, which I thought is always quite nice.
yeah.
Yeah. So or even sometimes uh, especially for families with pets, dogs. I
Ah,
always
yeah.
like to include them as well. So this is one of the photos that I have also. So um, it's definitely a bit challenging lah, because both are uncontrollable.
Yeah, it's true. They say don't work with pets and animals, right? I mean, babies and children and animals.
Yeah, correct. So it can be a challenge, but I always like to do it even for that few shots because it can always be interesting. But of course,
Yeah,
before that, I always ask the parents first, or how is your dog responding to the baby, or how is the baby responding to the dogs. So
uh,
like sometimes they say, or maybe not, then we don't do it. But if they say, oh yeah, they are very friendly to each other, then I
yeah,
might want to include that in because again, is always a part of the family history, and
yes.
it's always good to capture them together as a good memory lah.
Mm,
Yep.
agree.
Then of course even bigger dogs. Okay, this was shot outdoors. This baby, but this is not really baby lah. This is a bit bigger already. But still, I like moments like this, lor. Yeah, yeah. So a bit of candid moments, and the dog. The parents know that the dog is friendly, so we can always include that in as a family photo to make it a bit more interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
We I was trying to look for some, actually we shoot some newborns with dogs as well,
Uh,
but then I can't find them now, but I have this funny one to show you on our Instagram.
okay.
See if I can.
Yeah, like this one also outdoors with the dog and
Yeah,
the
very cute.
toddler. Yeah,
The dog
it's
is
definitely
sleeping.
a bit challenging. It's not easy, but once you get it, you get that satisfaction. Yeah.
Yeah. So usually you shoot outdoor lah for
Yeah, usually I shoot
pets.
outdoors a lot more. Yep.
Okay. This one, okay. I'm sharing this one. This one quite funny. They don't friend each other.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, then we have some others. Let me. Yeah, so we also started this pets photography. This one quite funny also. So our shots are in the studio lah. Yours is outdoor, right? So we
Yep.
shoot pets in the studio. Then it's quite funny. Then, yeah, they look alike, don't you think? Yeah, so this package we call it portraits lah. Pawtrits.
Interesting name.
Yeah, but it's really fun lah. I mean, we even got like guinea pigs, and then sometimes they bring rabbit. There was one time this lady, she brought chinchillas and hamsters. She's a vet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. So besides babies, of course, you shoot kids as well. Uh, what are the different challenges that you have between shooting babies and kids? Kids. For me, I guess I
which one
as
is more challenging for you?
uh each got its own challenges, I guess. Okay, babies to me is sometimes like what Stanley asked. What if they keep on crying and things like that, and
Mm,
is uncontrollable. Uh, that could be a challenge. For toddlers, sometimes even the 2 3 years old they could cry also, but they start to have a mind of their own as well. Sometimes
yeah,
they might not be willing to do whatever things, or they throw tantrums. Then when they are above the age of 5 to 8, there is a different set of problems again because they are very
correct.
more developed. They have
More independent.
more
Yeah.
yeah more independent. So is getting it gets a bit tricky lah, because there are some of my customers I shoot them every year, so you can
Mm,
see the kids
the
grow,
changes, right?
the
Yeah.
changes. So you can really see every year, right? The challenges will be different. Yeah. What about yourself? I mean, what kind of challenges, or what do you prefer to shoot?
Okay.
Babies, toddlers, or whatever.
Yeah. So now I find newborn shoots a little bit boring for me, but my girls enjoy it, so I let
Okay.
them shoot. But what
Okay.
I find challenging I mean, I enjoy the challenge of interactive child. You know, they
Okay.
can be naughty, right? But if
Yeah.
they naughty to you and then you get a reaction of them, I like to shoot this kind rather than those that just keep quiet, that kind, you know. But then you get a different energy of these children. Like they naughty, they say, I don't want, I don't want. Then, why you don't want? Then when you talk to them, then they start, you know, interacting with you. And then you just capture in between those moments are actually quite precious. So I find people say terrible too, right? But I find 3-year-old is more terrible than 2 years old. Yeah. So
The 1 year difference, a lot of difference.
yeah. So that day,
Okay.
just I think last month we shot this baby, not baby lah. She's 1 year old coming 2 years, about 16 months. So
Okay.
her mommy wanted an outdoor shoot, but the sad thing is at the start of the shoot she fell down. So after that she became very clingy to the helper and the mom. So everything they try and put her down because they don't want to be in a shot. So every time they put her down, she will start crying. Kaka, then cry. Then oh no, then what to do? Then every time they will give in to her. So you see
Yeah.
all her photo, all the tears all very big one. No? Not crocodile tears. Then after that we decided to ask mommy and the helper, right, to go and hide one side. Then I just scoop her out and carry her and walk away. And then suddenly she's like, who are you? And then, but then she dare not cry, you know, that's the good thing. It's like she suddenly,
Okay.
yeah, because she got no one to bully because she bullied the helper and the mommy. And the moment she cried, she know they will pick her up. So what I did was we took her away, me and my girls, we took her away. And then there was no one to complain to, she became very good. So we talked to her, interact with her. And then in the end, we got such a lovely shots out of
But I
her.
guess that's a gamble lah. What if she cry even more because don't know who are you?
then we have to ask the parents back lah. But then it was very lucky lah because this is not our first time shooting her. It's our third time.
I see.
So yeah, so we kind of know her character. So I think it helps if you know a bit of background about the child as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
So
so.
I do enjoy shooting the older kids now. And then another challenge you get is teenagers or those
Oh yes.
13 years old onwards, which are my son's age now. So yeah, so if you see the kind of shots I take of my children, right, versus clients is a totally different approach. For my kids, I try and take like everyday life, like what they do, that kind of thing, without them knowing. If they know, they will be very angry. So yeah, then
Okay, if
for
you start to post on your Facebook.
yeah. They are on Instagram, not Facebook. So for us older folks, we use Facebook. Yeah, so maybe I show you an example of a shot I did for my son. Okay, so this one what happened when Titi was going into primary 1. Okay, this shot. And it so happened that day I had my good camera with me, as in the Fuji. Usually I will use, this one is a very old, it's the XT one. So usually I'll use my phone, my
Okay.
iPhone, yeah. But this time I had the camera with me. So I was using the XT one with the 23mm. So as you can see, right, it's mainly about the landscape, right? Like the
Yep.
sunset and the tree. This tree is long gone. It's the one at Punggol.
Yep.
So for for most parents, they'll say, so small, see what, right? I think you'll get this same thing with your
Weddings.
wedding shoot, right, where it's scenic. So
Right.
the people so small, but then it's my boys and it's a silhouette and it's also like quite a precious moment is that both of them ran out and then they were talking to each other. Then I happened to see this and then I quickly shot it. So it's like something different. I mean, parents may not appreciate this kind of photo because they say cannot see their face, cannot see them smiling, you know. So
Yeah.
it's
And,
totally
and,
different approach, yeah.
and I guess parents, when they look at it, they will say that it's nice. But if it's your customer who you are shooting at that point of time, they might not appreciate such things lah. Yeah,
Yes.
but as of now, if you share this photo, I'm sure a lot of people will say that it's nice, but
Yeah.
not everybody will want to accept this photo for their own family
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah. Like even black and white, right? My mother-in-law that time very funny. I shot for a cousin, black and white shots of her pregnancy lah. Then my mother-in-law, huh? 做你 color guy, huh? Then he's saying, how come no color one the photo? To them it's like very olden days. Why the photo no color? So
Definitely,
different.
definitely,
Yeah, yeah. But I
definitely.
feel that the nowadays the customers are evolving. So some of them will really appreciate this kind, while whereas others may not. So we try and give a variety lah. Like I said, you just shoot some for your own portfolio and some to make the client happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very important. That's very important. But okay, I guess we just uh there's, there's a question by Alvin about how you keep the baby so calm.
Okay.
How what do you actually for baby shoot? Do you actually uh I guess especially for new parents, right? They probably don't know how to handle the baby well.
Yeah.
But will you think that you are probably better than them in most ways to handle the baby or yeah.
Yes. Actually, we are, but because I am already a mother, right? So they tend to trust me more, and I'm older lah. So I feel that this problem of them not trusting the photographer will be for younger photographer like my girls, because they not married yet, and then they also not mothers yet. So the client was like, you know how to hold my baby or not? So initially they may be more anxious
Yeah.
handing the baby over to them. But after the initial rep the first time and they see how my girls handle, they will be more comfortable. Whereas if it's me, they just give the baby direct. So
Okay.
there's a pros and cons, but I find that as long as the baby don't cry so much. I mean, sure, babies will cry lah, but the moment they cry, you know how to settle them. You know how to make sure that they stop crying and make them comfortable, and then the parents will generally leave you to do your job. Yeah,
So your girls, okay, for the viewers out there, when Mary talk about her girls, it's not
yeah.
her
Not my
daughters,
daughters.
it's her employees. Yeah, so she's basically her studio is made out of herself and
All women team. Yeah.
ladies. So when your girls first join you, do you actually train them on such things like
Yes. So,
is
for example, just now the baby Alexa I first showed, when mommy first came, right, she just straight out of poly. She never handled a baby before.
correct?
So I was so proud of her, like, after her 2 years with us, she can, because that time my younger son was only a baby. So it's like
Uh,
first hand experience. So she learned to handle him and all that. But of course, when we have clients, I will teach her and all that. So we do, I mean, most of them, they like to learn online from YouTube and all that. But there's a big difference between learning online and actually hands-on, learning it hands-on. So yeah, so initially when they first come, we will get ask for a model call lah, or we get people that we know who have like their cousins or what, who have a new baby.
okay.
Not say to try, but then at least get them handling a real baby instead of a wooden one. There are
It's like
wooden dolls.
provide a shoot for them, but also a chance for your
Yeah.
girls to practice lah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll be very upfront. We'll let them know that they are new, but then we are training them lah, and don't worry, we will do everything to the safety of baby. Yeah.
I see. And when doing baby shoots or even family shoots or kids or whatever lah, um, uh, okay, I guess a lot of I get asked this question a lot of times. You know, they always say, uh, let's say hobbyists, they say, "Oh, I just had my baby, or my kid is about 2, 3, 4 years old. They start to run about. I want to take photos of them. but my photos are always blurred, and it's so difficult to shoot them. And then people start to ask me, oh, what lens should I buy, etc., etc. So, do you have any advice for them, like how to get a short photo, or for 3-year-old when they start to run around already, how to actually get the photos? Yeah, yeah, because I get asked that question a lot of times from parents.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
this one is really very technical, you see, because
yeah,
why blur the kid move, then you have to increase your shutter speed lor. Then you need more light lor, the basics lah. But then of course I think the harder thing here is how to control that running kid. You know what I mean? So if you can achieve that, right, then shooting will be easy. I mean, you can have the best camera in the world, but actually sometimes like what the saying goes lah, the best camera is the one you have with you.
yeah.
So most of the time running children, my own children, the camera I have is my phone. So yeah, if I can, I have a entire album on everyday life of my kids shot with whatever camera I have at that moment. So like just now that tree and the sunset one is happened that day I have my Fuji with me.
Okay,
If not
okay.
other most days it's just the iPhone. So I think you need to understand your child first. Okay. Like he's going to when you call him or boy come, then he going to run to you, then you get ready your settings for the camera. You know what I mean? You don't uh go to a dark spot of the house and then you try and take a photo. Of course you try and make sure that the conditions are favorable to you first before you start shooting lah. But
True.
usually this kind of shots outdoor should be ample lighting lah. So it's more
Yeah.
on your shutter speed and the focusing lah.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, even for me, like I shoot a lot of outdoor shoots and stuff like that. Then when they start to run, I guess I just have to, like I mentioned, like in the end, it's very technical. Whether you're hobbies or whatever, uh, uh, you also should know how to use the camera on living
Yeah,
settings, lah.
it's
Yeah.
true.
Regardless whether it's an adult running or a baby running, it's the same thing. You still have to shoot them running, and you still have to know your controls, your shutter speed, and things like that.
Yeah,
How to go about taking
correct.
pictures.
So a
Yeah,
lot of people they feel like outdoor they feel that studio easier because your light is there, everything is controlled. But they don't understand that you need the kid to stand in that particular spot for the light and then you're
correct, correct.
correct or not? So it's like they think so easy, but then you try lah. So now we have this self-shoot service, right? Then we very
Ah,
funny when we see parents trying to control their kids. Then we now you know what we go through. But
I definitely
yeah,
agree with that. Yeah,
yeah. So people think studio very easy or this that. Then you try lah. It's not so easy. So I mean to make our life easier, we'll use a zoom lens because if I have for newborns they don't run around right. So newborns I use a 50 mm lah. For children or the studio I use a 24-70 lah.
okay,
So
okay.
I mean we have more variety lah. I mean although some people are like must use prime, but I find that for kids, I mean in the studio, sometimes they run to the back, run to the front. Then yeah, it's easier for me if I have a range to play with lah. Yeah,
I guess it's very individual lah, because
yeah,
everybody choose differently,
correct.
and okay, I definitely agree with you about the studio part, because I explain to my customers also. I say outdoor is probably easier for
Yeah,
them also, because in studio, your kid, once he turn or whatever, right, the lights change already, so it's
yeah,
actually a bit more complex.
yeah,
Yeah, and for me, okay, these days I use a lot of on my GFX lah actually. So my answer to a lot of people is, um, GFX is a medium format camera. Everybody say it's slow in focusing. I say in the end, if you know how to use the camera and you know your technicalities, it doesn't really matter. And the
Yeah.
reason why I love the GFX because, of course, I can crop a lot more. And of course, if I need to print, I can actually print much bigger with better resolution and stuff like that. And I have to admit I'm guilty of using primes. Yeah, I guess for the longest time in so many years, besides the wide angle, which is usually zoom lenses, and of
Yeah.
course the super long lenses, which is zoom, the in between, I'm always using primes really, and
Mm.
yeah lah, I just run around a bit more.
Yeah. But
Despite
you
the
have
fact
two
of not
camera,
yet
two
full,
bodies, quite easy lah. If you have two
I
bodies,
okay for family photos, although I bring two bodies out there, but my second body is more of a spare. My
mm,
I always shoot with just one body lor. I mean,
okay.
it's not like weddings where I hang three cameras on me, but
Wow.
for family shoots and things like that, because it's not time critical, I don't have to. I can switch lens. Like, I don't have to switch camera. Yeah,
True, true.
yeah. So I'm quite comfortable with using one prime lens with the camera lor.
Mm,
Yeah, which to me so far it works very well lah. Yeah, and I guess to the people out there, if you are thinking about, whether GFX is fast enough or not, definitely fast enough. Don't have to worry.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, then I guess yeah, a lot of people will always have all these questions, and of course another question people might have uh is flash photography safe for the babies or not? Because somehow or rather, some people will always think that, flash, is it okay for the babies? Because like even for animals, for pets, they say don't
Yeah.
flash them. Yeah,
Yeah.
so babies, if you flash them, is it okay or not?
Actually, nowadays we don't get this question. Last time, yes, many years
Uh-huh.
ago, yeah. So now is the norm lah, because anyway, babies are sleeping, what, right? Their eyes are closed. But then, even people like last time Anne Geddes or this, they are using big flashes and all that.
Yeah,
So I think there was an article about this that says it doesn't harm at all. It's
yeah,
not
I think
like,
I read before, so they say it doesn't
yeah.
harm. Yeah,
So yeah, not to worry. But I feel like nowadays the parents are more learned in this area, so they don't ask this question anymore.
they probably do more research about it these days, lah. And
Yes,
I guess
correct.
there's a lot of information online about all this stuff.
Yeah,
So it's probably safer. Yeah. But okay, maybe you got some other photos that you might want to share.
yeah.
Like, yeah, some of family photos, your kids' photos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe I share this. Okay, we every year around this time we have Christmas mini sessions. So what we do every time is we will have three sets hand built by our team lah, or sometimes we
Okay.
outsource it, and we will actually build three Christmas sets for the shoots, and the shoots are all very short. It's all half an hour, and then
Ah,
you'll be shot against three
background.
different sets, yeah, and then you get all the photos back in digitals. So this is quite a popular thing for us for Chinese New Year and Christmas.
I see.
Occasionally we have it for Children's Day, Mother's Day. So last time it was quite popular that people always ask, why don't you have it all year long? So that's when we decided to start up a team shoot studio called Little Big Shots. So maybe I
Okay.
share with you the website.
Yeah.
Share screen. Okay.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So this Little Big Shots, what our concept was is team shoot all year round, and last time we started, we were very ambitious lah. We changed team every month.
Wow.
So like we built this pool set, right, and then 1 month later we tear it down. Then it's like wow, very xiong. So as we went along the year, right, then we decided, okay lah, maybe we do um like this rockstar set, right? We keep it on for 2 to 3 months. So
Okay.
each time, so each time maybe I show you this rock star one, quite cute. So each time when we set up, we try and set up two sets in the studio so that people will have what you call it? They will have a variety lah. So
I
wait.
guess it must be pretty popular, right? I think some
Yeah,
parents would love to have such things for their kids.
yeah. So the problem with this kind of photo, right, is that um a lot of I noticed like a lot of Ang Moh photographer, right? I mean overseas photographer, they do this kind of set, but they do it as a composite. So that means they get the kid to pose in front of a plain background, and
Oh,
then after that they Photoshop in the backdrop. But
I
then for
see.
us, we want genuine expression, like like the kid playing, the kid really singing or playing the drum like that. So in this
Yeah,
case, we actually build the set itself and then get them to interact within the set. So you for that you get more how you say genuine expression, like you see this girl running away from the bear, that
I'm
kind of
sure.
thing.
Sure. I guess kids photography to me lah is like the kids have to really enjoy what they are doing when you are doing the
Correct.
photo shoot, rather
Yeah.
than especially for the very young ones, you really
Yeah.
cannot get them to act like they are enjoying themselves.
Correct.
So as if they're really enjoying themselves, and that's where we get the genuine expressions
Correct.
of them.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's
So
always
that's what we try. Yeah, we try and do that with the sets lah. Like we try and make it like fun and then not so serious. Like this one quite popular even though it's about school, but it's like back to school. So
yeah.
before they or graduation, they like to have this backdrop as well. So it's quite cute lah. So
Okay.
yeah, so our Christmas set and all that we do every year, plus Chinese New Year, and now we have all year round we will have this one, no, the sets that we
I
build.
see. I
Yeah.
see. I guess that's always interesting. I think nowadays a lot of parents also want something like that. Yeah.
Mm,
So I guess that's also why okay, for me, I think my approach is always a bit more lifestyle,
mm,
having fun outdoors or even at the comfort of the house. But of course, for you, then will be very different where um, create sets for them and uh, let them have a different kind of experience.
yes.
So, uh, photography wise, it's definitely a different mix, and in the end, it depends on parents what they prefer.
Yeah, what they want, right? Yeah.
Yeah, what they want. Yep. So, and any interesting uh, shots that you have before, like out of the norm, like whether is it family photos, maternity photos, or
Oh, okay.
even kids photos? Yeah.
Yeah. A few years ago, I took part in a contest, for
Quite contest.
international photo. Yeah. So it's for it's called the National Association of Professional Family Photographers, children photographers. So
Okay.
they
Okay.
have different category like maternity, newborn as well. So I took part in the maternity one, and let me share this with you. So this one won third prize. Uh, this one. So I name it Ink. It's
Oh,
basically a
interesting.
couple, yeah.
Okay.
And then this one won the first prize,
Wow. Wow.
yeah, for maternity. So this wall, right? People
Ah.
thought is this one is actually also built in our studio. It's a green wall that we had,
Okay.
but I use stroke lah. The stroke is
I
coming
see.
down from top left on her,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And then these are the different kind of, I mean, just now we are talking about how I shoot my kids versus how
Mm.
I shoot. So this kind, this is my younger son sleeping with his favorite teddy bear. So things, yeah. So wait, I'm trying to find the lama. I don't know how to get out of this. Yeah, never mind. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So when I shoot my kids, actually there's another image I want to show you, but I don't know how to get out. Sorry, I'm using my son's. Oh, I found it. I found it. Can you see now? Cannot.
Oh, no, I cannot see.
Okay. Okay. I found it. Under here. Share screen. Okay. So this one I shot it on the way to school in the morning.
Okay.
My husband tried and asked him to read the news. Yeah. So this is him on way to school. This one, of course, I use a good camera, the Fuji lah. I didn't use the phone lah, because there's no way you can capture the light like that. And this was the 3 photos that I won for the contest lah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I
yeah.
guess I guess it's I think a lot of parents would want to document their kids like this, but of course not everybody knows how to use a camera or even a phone camera to capture such things.
Yeah.
So of
Oops,
course
sorry.
there are parents wouldn't engage a photographer to follow their kids to school
Yeah.
every day. Yeah,
So
but
yeah, yeah. So what I want parents to know is it doesn't have to be a perfect photo like a studio photo. You can always document the life of your child, right, as they are growing, either school years with a phone, a snapshot from your phone. Because over the years, although like now, right, a lot of parents when they say hey, I want to come for shoot, but then I need to lose weight. I mean, don't wait. You know what I mean? I am guilty of that as well. I mean, like now you see our photos from a few years ago, you'll be like, hey, I so skinny then. Then then if you continue waiting and waiting, right, there's no end to it. So your children don't care. All they care is they want a picture next time, right? That they can look back on, oh, these were my parents and our family. So I feel that especially for us photographers, right, we seldom get in front of the camera with our family. Usually
yeah,
we are the one taking the photos of them.
yeah,
So apart from making a habit of shooting your own family or your own children, try and jump in on the shots as well. So usually once a year, either Chinese New Year or Christmas, I will get my family in to the studio for some photos. I mean, apart from the birthdays and all that, we just shoot at home. Yeah. I feel it's quite important. Because that time got one time my friend asked me, hey, can send me a photo of you and your kids. I find really don't have a lot, very hard to find, very hard to come by. So it's really quite important, yeah, for parents especially. Sometimes it's the dad, don't say mom. Sometimes it's the dad that's doing all the shooting, so the mommy get all the photo, but there's no photo of father and children.
because the fathers are always the more technical person, so they
Yeah,
probably handle the camera. Yeah,
correct.
but I definitely agree. I guess when we talk about kids photo and babies photo and stuff like that, in the end, is when we talk about art and stuff like that. But in the end, it's always about documenting a part of your history and documenting your stories, and
Yes.
hopefully, uh, even for the kids when they grow up, when they're 15 years old in their teens,
Yeah.
or when they look back in their 20s, they look back at their kids photos. It's always a nice history for them to look back on,
Yeah.
and that is always very important. I mean, these days, especially, we don't have to use film anymore. I mean, it's
Mm.
all digitized,
Very,
and
yeah.
archiving them is, well, I wouldn't say it's easy because, of course, if your file size are big, but it's not as complicated as film days.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good way to collect all this history and all these stories for yourself.
Yes.
Of course, it'd be good if you can engage a photographer. If not, You always do your own documentation as well.
Yeah.
And of course, uh, 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 if you want, you can always purchase a Fuji camera. I guess,
It's true.
yeah, because
They got the Wi-Fi, right? The
yeah,
Wi-Fi
correct.
function. Then you
And
just
you can just transfer. And another thing is that
yeah.
is the cameras are no longer heavy and bulky like the past.
Yes. Yes.
It's much smaller, so it's so much easier to bring it around and actually capture all these pictures. Yeah, but for 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 us photographers, when we go out to shoot photos for our customers, um, we of course we always look at the environment, look at the lighting, and see
Mm.
what is the best way to create the images for our customers lah. I mean, of course, to the layman, maybe they might not be as proficient to look at lighting and stuff like that. But uh, the, I guess that's why when photographers when we take photos for our clients, we always look at a lot more things involved. Yeah, like even for myself, like I mentioned, I do a lot of outdoor shoot.
Mm.
So I definitely uh, take a lot more notice of the lighting to see whether we can get better pictures or not, regardless of the place. Again, like even
Mm.
things like this. This was maternity as well.
Yeah.
The light, the shadows, everything is
Yes.
perfect, and these are always what we look out for. So even for the viewers out there who are just hobbyists, who are shooting pictures for your own kids, there's always different ways of looking at it, and even when the light is good, um, the location can be anywhere, and the photos can
Yeah, I
shoot.
know. Sometimes my kids, right, I say the light is good. Go and stand there. Then they
Yeah. So, like for example, this picture, it's very obvious it's HDB void there because of letterbox.
yeah.
The lights is so fantastic, and just a candid moment, and can make the pictures look a bit more interesting as well.
Agree.
Yeah. So every time we talk about um, good light, some people might ask, what is actually good light? I guess good light is where we can probably see the differentiation between your lights and shadow, and
Mm.
uh, uh, make your image pop out from the background maybe.
Yeah.
uh, so like for example, this is another image where this is what we call good light. You can actually
Mm.
see that the you can actually see the subject actually pops out from the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of the backlight. Yeah.
Right. So this is what we meant by good light for those people who are curious about it. Yeah. So these are always things that we can look out for when we take pictures. Yeah. Regardless which genre you are doing, it could be just a portraiture shot, or it could be your kids' photos or
Yeah.
maternity photos, and these are always very standard things that we look out for, lah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then uh, even for Marian, even your studio, sometimes you guys don't even use studio lights. You guys use natural light in the studio also, right?
Yeah. So maybe I can most of the what you call that, the newborn shots are using natural light only. But
Okay.
we do use it for maternity as well. Maybe I can show you. I share the screen. Is it okay to share Facebook?
Can
Can
yeah.
okay. So this from our Facebook. So like this shot you see here, this one is at the natural light in the
Nice.
window. Mm.
Nice.
This studio light. Like sometimes client can't tell, right? So we'll just explain to them. So like nude shots like that, we use studio lighting. I
Yeah.
find like there's more mood lah for when we're
Yeah.
creating a dark shot. Then these are the more light and airy shot. Then this couple say they don't want smiling shot.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, we used to have this hand painted backdrop.
I think these days you use less of those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we go back to basics lah. So
Keeping simple lah
usually
now.
I like shots where there's interaction with the
Yeah.
parents, yeah, things like that, or even between husband and wife, like more candid lah. But of course, some of our clients prefer like pose shots like this. So yeah, so these are
Yeah.
all natural light lah, natural light.
I guess you mentioned earlier on also, like I guess we always do a mixture of photos for our customers.
Yes,
So it's not everything post or it's not everything candid. Because in the
yeah,
end, sometimes customer might not really know what they prefer. So as
yeah.
a photographer, we actually create a variety for them and see what they want to choose eventually.
And
Yeah,
yeah, just now you were mentioning about HDB. Yeah.
yeah,
So this family very cute. They wanted to shoot at their HDB. So we actually went to their place. This is just downstairs lah. Of
yeah.
course, it was an overcast day lah until this part. So don't have the nice lighting like yours. But then it's cute lah. They say they like to eat at this prata shop. So we do some do you consider this lifestyle?
Yeah, more lifestyle lor. Yeah.
Yeah. So we shoot them at doing the everyday things lah, what they do. And
I
then
guess
the
like when it comes to all these kids and baby photos, it's all
mm,
about documenting them when they're growing up, and
correct.
is again like what I mentioned earlier on, is really about that history for them, yeah, that
Yeah.
memories for them, and which is very important because after a while, if everything is post, right,
Yeah.
sometimes you well we get a bit tired of it, especially if you do
Correct.
the shoot every year. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We actually what I like is every year when we see our clients, right? Those
yeah,
returning clients. But then we try and create different memories
correct.
for them. Yeah. So sometimes it is a headache lah to think of new things. But then, you know,
But it's a
besides
challenge.
outdoor shoot, studio shoot, home
Yeah,
shoot, then what's next?
the challenge that we take it upon ourselves, lah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So yeah.
just to share some more pictures. Okay, so I'm always a sucker for lights, lah. So uh, uh, of course, sometimes we don't get good lights all the time, but
Yeah.
well, I guess as long as it's not raining, there's always ways to pray for it. So this was actually sunlight also. This was not flash or
Nice.
artificial light.
Yeah.
So yeah, we a lot of people might ask, or how to actually do things like that. I guess it
Uh,
comes with a lot of practice, and again, as a um, someone who is interested in photography, once you get practice a bit more and you know how to look at light in general, you
yes.
can always be able to capture images like this. Yeah, because a lot of
Correct.
people actually ask me whether this was a flashlight or artificial light. I say no, it's actually natural sunlight lah. And
Yeah.
how you actually um, look for good lights to get the images. And as I say, as long as we don't encounter rain like what we have in these 2 weeks,
Mm,
um, it might not be that difficult to get it. But of course, sometimes some of the images I enhance a bit in Photoshop. Yeah, so images like this also, the light is
mm.
fantastic. Yeah, so
So
uh,
usually you shoot very early morning, right?
correct. Yeah,
Mm.
either early in the morning or late in the afternoon. So good question. A lot of customers ask, what time is best for photography for their kids and their family. I say
Mm,
either you do it early in the morning, like we start about 7:30 or 8 in the morning,
yeah.
or we start at about 4 p.m. in the late afternoon. Then that's where you get very nice lights. But of course, in terms of location, then of course as a photographer we have to know um, which location morning light is better, which location the afternoon light is better. Yeah,
Yes.
I will definitely avoid the afternoon lights like between 11 to 3 o'clock, that kind of timing, where it's not just the lights that is not good, it gets very hot,
Mm,
and the kids, regardless of the age, they will be so uncomfortable, and in the end, then you cannot get any pictures done.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
You that one was at Botanic Garden, right?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I have there was one morning in May, I think, when we
Uh-huh.
got this client that wanted very early shoot. Then I
Uh-huh.
just show you this shot. It's quite
Okay.
amazing also the light that day. The light rays came through the, yeah, this one is at the regions
Nice.
working. So yeah. So I think you're so right to say that, the morning light is actually the best lah. But I know some photographer like to shoot the sunset, but then it's a very short window.
Correct.
Yeah, after that it's dark already.
And
Whereas, yeah,
sometimes if you're not careful, you end up with a lot of silhouette shots.
true, true. Yeah,
Correct. Yeah.
yeah.
So, but usually I check with the customers. Like, I mean, I guess you guys as well, you always talk to customers to see what they prefer. And for
Mm,
me, it's really to check with them whether they are okay with the early morning shoot or not. Yeah, because not everybody is okay with it. Because maybe for some of the kids, some of the toddlers or whatever, that might not be a good option for them.
mm,
Yeah. Then we just arrange it late in the afternoon, or sometimes if it's in the house, um, if the house is not facing a particular direction, I told my customers it doesn't really matter, because your lights doesn't really come in that much. uh, uh, we just shoot normal timing now, like maybe uh, 2 4 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. That's perfectly okay also,
mm.
because it doesn't really matter what kind of lighting is it, because it's in the house anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So sometimes I like to do framing in the shots also, like
Mm,
maybe even images like this. This was actually not early in the morning. This was actually about 11 o'clock, but
mm.
because I was shooting their 1-year-old party in the
Birthday.
house.
Ah.
Yeah, then just brought them downstairs for 30 minutes to get some pictures outdoors lah. So that's why
Mm,
this was not early in the morning. But even in the afternoon, sometimes if it's a short window, it's okay because it's not. I mean, it's still bearable lah. Then you can get very nice shadows also,
yeah.
and just frame them with shadows, and can always make the image a bit more interesting.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. So I guess to me it's really about uh, work with
what you
whatever
have. Yeah.
we have. Yeah, work with whatever I have. I mean, of course, good light is always good. But I always tell my customers, even though sometimes the light is not that fantastic, we can still try our best to do something nice lah. And otherwise, I just got to spend a bit more time to edit the images.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even things like that, good light. Um, so also a bit more interaction lah. So basically, I get the dad to interact with the daughter and show her the leaves and whatever. Then of course the leaf act as a reflector for them as well. So
Yeah,
the
true.
face is illuminated. So this is what I meant by playing with what we have.
Mm,
Yeah, I usually shoot alone, so I wouldn't bring a reflector out anyway. So
Mm.
so the leaves or whatever lah can be a part of a reflector, and also reflect light on the face to make the picture look a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, yep. So but for Marian, do you? I guess a lot of people might ask like, do you edit your pictures a lot, or you do minimal editing?
Okay. With studio shoot, right?
Yep.
I mean, shots in the studio, even in natural light, I try to get everything right in frame.
Mhm.
Shoot like you're shooting film. That's why I said. Because very old school. Last time I started with film. So it's like I make sure immediately after the shoot, right? The JPEGs I can show the client and for them to select photo. So last time some of my girls they shoot, they say, "Aya, later can adjust in post." But I say, but if we are showing client immediately right after that, and you tell them, this one I can edit away, the color can change and all that, but they cannot visualize, then you will lose the sale, you see. So
Correct.
usually we let our photos sell themselves. So I say try and get it right in camera in terms of exposure, color, everything. I try and get it right lah. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
I,
how
I guess same.
how
I guess I try
mm,
my best to also get it right out from camera, unless of course the light is bad. Then sometimes
yeah, yeah, no choice.
really have to edit a bit
Then
more
what I
lah.
say, we give us one day to edit, then we upload gallery.
Yeah,
No
yeah. But
choice.
I guess for me sometimes is the editing is more about editing for the tone and
Yeah,
mood
the
of the
colors, right?
images.
Yeah, yeah,
Because color tone sometimes affects the mood of the pictures. So I
it's
guess
true.
that is the difference lah.
Mm,
So uh, sometimes I might explain to customers about. I mean, of course, what they get out from camera, actually, to most of our customers, they find that it's good enough for them.
nice already, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
but we
But as
still need to.
photographers, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes we want to do a bit more. Yeah, do a
Right.
bit more to create that art sense or
Mm,
whatever. Yeah, to make it look nicer lah. Hopefully here and there. Yeah, yeah. So so sometimes or even in the house shoot against the window. Maybe sometimes the window frame might be a bit distracting. I do actually edit the
take it
window.
out, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But that's about it lah. I mean
Minimal
uh,
lah.
yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, it's always good to get the photos right out from camera.
So it makes your job easier also in Lightroom or yeah, when
Yeah,
you're editing.
definitely, definitely. And I guess, well, like you mentioned, you know, customers also feel more confidence lah.
Yeah.
Compared to if you tell them, oh, you got to edit the image to make it look better or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I would say that for pregnant woman it's different. They 9 out of 10, right, when they see their photo, I look so fat, I look so fat. Oh my god. I say I'm pregnant, not fat. But then it's common.
I
So
experienced it before. Yeah,
yeah. So that one they would prefer to have more editing done, like the double chin or the arms, you know.
nah,
Water retention, water retention.
but I mean, I
But
guess
babies are perfect lah. Babies usually very easy to sell lah because the photos are cute and then it's their child. Then yeah.
But now that you talk about babies, what if sometimes newborn they have their skin is a bit
Ah,
peeling. Do you
correct.
edit them?
So yeah, I have to say that most parents don't like the flaky skin,
Yeah, correct.
even though we tell them like it's
Natural.
natural, yeah, and they will never get this again. But some parents really don't want. But jaundice, I do like to edit it away because the baby looks yellow, not nice
Yeah,
unless it's a black and white shot lah.
yeah,
So jaundice actually quite easily done in Lightroom. We just get rid of the yellow
yeah.
and yeah. So those are about mainly the things that we deal with, and sometimes is scratch or something on the face. But there's also babies with a lot of they call it milia. It's like whiteheads,
Okay.
which some parents also don't like. But yeah, if they ask to remove, we'll remove it lah.
Okay.
Mm.
Great. Then for baby photos, how many days for newborns lah?
Mm.
How many days?
The
Or
best is
yeah,
under
the
10
best time
days
under 10 days. Okay.
because
Reason
when they approach their third week, right, that is the growth spurt. So by then they'll be more awake and then they want to drink more often. And it's very hard to get them in those sleepy poses. Yeah. And
so
then,
all the sleeping photos have to be at least under 10 days lah.
yeah, under
Okay.
2 weeks is fine. The next stage would be the 100 days, about 12 weeks old. So by then their neck muscle is strong. You can post them. Like for those parents that want open eye shot,
Ah,
the not the 100 days period is the best.
okay.
Yeah, because we
Okay.
can still try and post them like newborns, right? Like face down and all that. But their neck can lift up already, so it's quite cute lah. And they also quite interactive. Their eyes open, then they can smile.
Okay.
Some parents really they prefer this stage rather than the sleeping newborn stage. Yeah.
Okay, that's very informative
Yeah.
information. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I guess a lot of people might not really know when might be the best time actually. And
True.
yeah, like you mentioned, different stage, you can get different kind of shots.
Yeah. So I
And
find like the first year you have all these stages. So the newborn and then the 100 days. And then the next one is about 6, 7 months when they can sit. Wow, that one very cute. They will smile and they will interact. And they're not afraid of strangers. Closer to 1 year, right? Like the milestone, they like 1 year old.
yeah.
Now they fashion the cake smash. So
Oh
it's like
yeah,
a birthday shoot with a cake
correct.
and then the baby will smash. So 9 out of 10 baby will cry when they because they don't like the dirty feeling when they touch the cake. So but we have to tell parents first lah. But the first year these are usually the milestone that parents like to capture.
Yep.
The
Yep.
favorite is either the 3 month or the 6, 7 months age. Quite cute. Yeah.
True. 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 Yeah. Then after that, that will be the 1 year, 2 year.
1 year. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we try and encourage parents to come back after the first year, right? At least once a year lah, just to refresh their photos, their family photos. Yeah.
Because especially the first few years, they do change quite a fair bit. I mean,
Yeah. The
yeah,
faces change. Sometimes mother
correct.
say, why you look like daddy only don't look like me? Then closer to 1 year, then you see the changes.
Yeah, yeah. I even did my customers before 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. Yeah, because
Wow.
they really want to document
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
changes lah. Yeah. So, but I guess it's good lah. I mean, I guess even for photographer, I guess we enjoy it also. We see the growth
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the family. Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. Then I think was last Christmas had a client that I shot since they were 1 year old. This one wasn't shot as a newborn. So last year was the PSLE
Wow, wow,
result.
wow.
They didn't, and he didn't did so well. So when he come in for Christmas show, Auntie Maryann, I don't know how to go to this school and all that. Then I'm like so cute lah. It's like my own kid like that lah.
Yeah,
So
it's your
cute.
own
And
son.
then it's like
Yeah.
yeah. So I see all of them grow up. I'm really very heartwarming every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Can see your motherly instinct all out to you.
But I've been doing this so long, 15 years. Also gets tiring. Yeah. So you
I
need
guess it's
to
the
you need to do some personal
refresh. Yeah,
projects. Yeah. So that
correct.
you will get better at your craft. Yeah.
Okay, I mean for your theme shoots and things like that, I guess it's always very interesting. And this
Yeah.
is
Keep you on your toes. Got to keep thinking
it
of
forces you
which
to be creative.
yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. Maybe some last thoughts, okay, maybe I just share. Okay, for the viewers out there who are actually keen to follow our IG, you can take a look at, you can scan the QR code for these two IG, myself and Maryann. Maryann will be the Studio Loft. So for you guys out there who are interested, you can follow our IG to look at more pictures. So, but for Maryann, any last thoughts for the people out there, um, for the budding photographers or for customers who are looking for photographers to shoot their newborn? What do they look out for and things like that, or what should they do to prepare themselves? Yeah,
Okay.
and of
So
course for
for
budding photographers, yeah.
Yeah, so for customers, what I would say is don't wait. Okay, because every time there's always occasion. Okay, maybe next year, maybe when I lose 10 kg, maybe another occasion, that kind of thing. There will never be a shortage of excuses. So my advice is don't wait. Be it a outdoor shoot or just a simple shoot with friends, I mean with your family at a birthday or anything, just do it. So for photographers, to shoot kids, I would say try and uh, interact with them more. Don't treat them like a model or like a subject. You should try and first be their friend, especially if it's a 2 year old and above kid. Once they feel like you are their friend, you will not be deprived of any good shots. You will get all the most interesting shots from the children. And then yeah, the thing is you need to strike a rapport with the your subject lah, basically. But it's a kid lah. So you try and be a big koko or jeje lah.
I think that's a very good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, do not treat them as models or
Yeah.
things.
Because
It's
model can listen ma, then they
yeah.
will do what you want. But then a kid, they only know how to play. So if you can engage with them and get them to play, you will get the best shots. Yeah.
I guess maybe to even other genres of photography,
Mm.
unless you're doing commercial work, of course, building a rapport with your subject is always very important, and
Yes.
that's where your so-called your subjects open up to you, and
Yeah. Come
that's
to
where you can
life.
get nice, more interesting pictures, lah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, because once they feel comfortable with you, it's so much easier to get the pictures of them.
Yeah.
So as parents out there who are actually photo enthusiasts, shooting your own kids shouldn't be as difficult, because you should already, as the parent, you should already have a certain rapport with them, and
Yeah.
might be a bit easier until they grow older lah. I'm sure Mariann can
Okay. And
agree
don't
to
forget to get yourself in the shot.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parents.
Okay. Yeah, so if there's no further questions, I mean, for you guys out there who might not have any questions now, but you might think of certain questions later, feel free to leave a comment on the Facebook page as well, or you guys have our IG account. I mean, feel free to message us if there's any other questions you might have. Yeah. And yeah, thanks very much to Mariann for joining me tonight. And
Thank
of
you for
course,
having me.
yeah, thanks Fuji also for arranging this as well. Fujifilm Singapore for arranging this. Um, uh, for the last 20 months or so, I'm sure to a lot of viewers out there, you who have known that Fujifilm Singapore, we have been doing a lot of webinars for you guys as well. Do let us know if you have any other uh, requests for any form, any genre of photography. We'll try to do more webinars for you guys until we can do actual face workshops. But otherwise, uh, we have our different ambassadors in Fujifilm Singapore, and even if we do not do that particular genre as much, or if you like to hear from other people, let us know. That's why we invited Maryann here tonight to share her experience as well for kids and baby photography. Yeah, and yeah, we always try our best to have more topics for you guys to learn from lah. Yeah, do let us know. Drop us a message at Fujifilm Singapore Facebook page. Then let us know what you like to hear, and we try our best to arrange something for you guys also. Okay, and yep, stay safe, and thanks again, Maryann, for your
Yeah,
time
thank you.
tonight.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So yeah, that's all we have tonight, and yep, hope to catch you guys again next time. Thanks, Maryann.
Okay,
Okay,
bye.
bye.